fine. Welcome to today's episode. Watching MD90 live here in Lusaka, here in Zambia. So stay tuned till the very end. Don't click out and subscribe if you haven't already.
Well, one thing that's for sure is that Boma Lusambo has been reaching out to the UPND. From the time that the PF lost power in 2021, you could tell that Bowman has been trying to get in the good books with President Hakainde Hichilema, the UPND. You could tell just from the number of press briefings that he's had. He would always strike at the ministers and everybody else in government, but he would never strike at the President Hakainde Hichilema, probably in hopes that at some point the president would send him an olive branch, whether to join the UPND or something. And today is not different. He's making headlines with this. He says, don't be surprised if I join UPND, Boma Lusambo, and then he just adds in like a footnote to say, or if anyone from UPND joins PF, that part of anyone from UPND joining PF is relevant to the conversation. The real bone of contention, what he wanted to say is that headline there to say, do not be surprised if I join UPND. And I'm pretty sure in the backdrop, he's been trying to reach out because publicly it's very obvious. You could tell from his recent press briefing that he had at his home, where he was saying some of the ministers that the president has in the UPND cabinet underperforming and pretty much are putting a bad name on the president. And if he needs help, then he can simply reach out to himself, Boma Lusambo, anyone else to help out with that. But all these appeals have been falling on deaf ears, or the president hasn't been entertaining them. But he's been deliberately reaching out. It's quite obvious. It's not even hidden. So today he decided to send it in the universe to say he hopes at some point he might be allowed to join the UPND, but I doubt there are even any talks in the backdrop. Wait and see. But one thing that is not disputable is Boma Lusambo's influence on the ground. If you remember, even one of the cases that he has, the one that is from Kabwe, the time that he was driving through Kabwe, and then he bought some food for people. He said he went to buy a pie, and then people surrounded him, and then he's been sued for unlawful gathering. So his influence on the ground is very undisputed, especially from the Copper Belt going that side. Because even the current MP in Kabushi, if Boma Lusambo is allowed to stand on that ticket in Kabushi, it's a landslide victory. That's obvious. So maybe based off political convenience, maybe the UPND might decide to incorporate Boma Lusambo as things play out. But at the moment, nothing concrete has come out from those appeals. But one thing that's for sure is Bowman has been sending out his appeals to President Hakainde Hichilema to allow him to join the UPND. Obviously, he does not want to go in the UPND as an ordinary member or just someone at grassroots. No. He wants at a high level, obviously. I mean, based off his political weight. But we wait and see if those appeals will yield any results. Chufetayari also tried this format. If you remember, it should have been from November last year or December thereabout. Chufetayari was very pro-government. He was on the side of President Hakainde Hichilema, trying to get in these good books, shooting at Edgar Lungu, but obviously that did not play out. And then earlier on this year, should have been in January, he simply decided to do a 360 and started striking at the president. Because you cannot compare Chufetayari and Boma Lusambo. Chufetayari's influence was so much online, really. Like on the ground, it cannot be compared to Boma Lusambo. So based off politics of convenience, it's very possible that the UPND might decide to incorporate Boma Lusambo at some point, as opposed to those appeals that Chufetayari did. But so far, nothing has come out of those applications. We wait and see if anything will do. But as things stand, Boma Lusambo has warned you to say, do not be surprised if you see him joining the UPND anytime soon. It's in the books. I mean, pressure of those court cases. I don't even know the number of court cases that he has at the moment. I mean, the young man has been looking old. Boma is not that old. I think he's still under 45. He should be 43 or 42 thereabout. He's not that old. But the pressure of those court cases, he looks like an odd man. But yeah, so let's wait and see how the political landscape plays out as we drive towards 2026. But in other news, it seems like the tension or whatever is going on between Zambia and Zimbabwe keeps on growing deeper, or it's becoming too obvious and apparent. So Emmanuel Mwamba had posted, Emmanuel Mwamba was the ambassador to South Africa and Ethiopia at some point in Edgar Lungu's cabinet. So he had posted the schedule of for heads of states arrival at the 16th, on the 16th of August 2024 in Harare, where the SADC meeting is happening. So President Hakainde was scheduled to be in Harare this morning. So Emmanuel Mwamba said, schedule of arrival of heads of state for the 44th Ordinary SADC Summit. Although President Hakainde is scheduled to arrive in Harare today, he may not. He will likely attend the summit remotely and send alternatives, pretty much representatives, he says there. So he put up this in the morning, right before even the president could fly into Harare, because the time of arrival for President Hakainde was scheduled to be at 9:30, as you can see on screen there, between 9:30 and 14 hours thereabout. And so he did not go to Harare. The president was doing this today. So President Hakainde around the same time that meeting was happening, he said, "We are greatly honored to have officiated at the groundbreaking ceremony of the Sioma Katumba mines located in Chief Kaindu of Mambwe District, Central Province." So in short, the president was in Mambwe, or Mumbwa, not Mambwe, was in Mumbwa, Central Province. So as expected, the president did not attend that meeting. So different sections of society have decided to appeal. Hari Kalaba is one of them. So this was reported by Kalemba, says, Hari Kalaba tips Hichilema to engage Lungu over Zimbabwe issue. Citizens First President Hari Kalaba says President Hakainde Hichilema should reach out to former President Edgar Lungu to address the perceived misunderstanding with Zimbabwe, a sister country. So that is an appeal coming from Hari Kalaba, and then he states a number of issues to say Zambia and Zimbabwe were simply the same country at some point. So them having conflicts at this point does not help anyone. It's like the recent border closing that happened between Zambia and the Congo. That was resolved promptly, so he hopes this can also be resolved. But where this all comes from is this. So Kalaba says, there is no need to create enmity or enmity between Zambia and Zimbabwe. He says on June 20th this year, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Internal Cooperations, Mlambo Waimbe, told Parliament that Zambia has sought the regional bodies to urgent intervention on the soften the apparent diplomatic spat with Zimbabwe. Earlier this year, a video was published on various global platforms depicting Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa and Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in a discussion on the sidelines of the Russia Economic Forum. That's where Mnangagwa had said he was appealing to Putin to set up a base in Zimbabwe to say Zimbabwe felt threatened by Zambia's association with the states, and he alleged the states had set up some sort of base in Zambia, so he felt the need for Russia to do the same. So it's from that row that everything has gone downhill since then. So Hari Kalaba was appealing to President Hakainde Hichilema to send Edgar Lungu to go and represent him or clear out certain things in Zimbabwe. I do not see that happening. That is highly unlikely. Because just recently, what's this, the party, the ZANU-PF, the one in Zimbabwe, issued a statement which you might be aware of towards President Hakainde Hichilema in relation to Fred Membe's situation. The time that the police had detained him should have been at Ibex Hill police station. So Kalaba thinks the ideal candidate to be sent to Zimbabwe is Edgar Lungu. In as much as, yes, Edgar Lungu may have a great relationship with Emmerson Mnangagwa, I do not see President Hakainde Hichilema doing that. I'm sure they'll find a way of resolving it. But as things stand, things with Zimbabwe are not playing out as usual. What is the issue of those corrupt ministers, alleged corrupt ministers in the current government keeps popping up? So suspend, this was posted on the Patriotic Front page, suspend corrupt ministers that have been investigated. That's Sakuba Scott. The UPND should learn to listen to a voice of reason and of Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, on suspending corrupt ministers who are under investigation, says the United Kwacha Alliance. That's Sakuba Scott, should be the president or the head of that alliance. Mr. Nkombo has demanded that ministers being investigated for corruption should leave until they are cleared of their corruption tags. This is unfair to the many junior civil servants who are put on suspension pending investigation, even in the private business world, from where President Hakainde Hichilema is said to hail from. It is a standard practice that put an employee under investigation on suspension pending investigations. State Council Sakuba Scott. So that conversation is still going on. And then they're just using Gary Nkombo's statement, the one that he had on Let People Talk earlier on, as sound bites to that. And then some lawsuits are flying around. UPND official sues the state for 2 million kwacha. That's one of the lawsuits. And then also Kasonde Mwenda has also threatened to sue the government. He says Minister of Mines and Mineral Development, Zambia Air Force Staff Commander, and he puts the date there, 14th August 2024, subject notice of intentions to commence illegal action against the, commence legal action against the illegally launched countrywide mineral mapping geophysical survey by President Hakainde Hichilema from the Economic Freedom Fighters Party. And then Kasonde says, the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, this is the Zambian version, not the Julius Malema one, wishes to inform you that the officially launched countrywide high-resolution aerial geophysical survey by Republican President Mr. Hakainde Hichilema yesterday on 14th of August at City Airport in Lusaka is illegal, and as such, the state is advised to halt the process until all legal requirements are attended to, or failure to which the Economic Freedom Fighters will expeditiously commence legal action to defend the Republic of Zambia's constitution and the Zambian citizen whose interests are threatened. Be informed that using advanced airborne geophysical technology to map hidden geological resources carries several legal implications and is illegal in its current form, as on the following grounds, and this is the reasons why he's suing the state. He's likely to sue the state if they proceed with that. Obviously, Elias Munsha, this is the ambassador to Australia. He says, imagine threatening government on the basis of an imaginary lawsuit you generated from ChatGPT. Imagine that for a moment. So that's the response that Elias Munsha put up on that. And then Kasonde responded to him. He says, I have 2 law degrees, my brother, all based on Zambian law. Be humble. So that's a back and forth between Elias Munsha and Kasonde Mwenda. So that's the situation there. And then just in effective 1st September 2024, load shedding hours will increase to 17 hours. Energy Minister has informed the nation. So you expect more load shedding. Zambians, brace yourselves. As of 1st September 2024, it will be 17 hours of load shedding in the country. What else is here? Police in Lusaka seize 29.9 kg of gold and $200,000 US cash hidden within door panels of a Zimbabwean registered vehicle belonging to Chinese nationals. So that's a good bust that has happened there. What is the over 300 corridor volunteers who were promised permanent jobs demand to be addressed by President Hakainde or President Hichilema. So I don't know what's going on with this issue of these volunteers. Is it that no one was completely employed when the president offered them jobs after they had served as volunteers in the corridor thing, or this is a different 300? What was the total number of volunteers? Now, that's the question. Because if you remember, even the time that Sylvia Masebo was leaving the ministry, where she had that interaction with them, and then that video went viral where she became agitated and started issuing some threats to them. It seems like, I don't know if it's the same group or the different groups. You guys may update the nation. What's going on? I know my subscribers are very well informed. What's the situation with this situation of the volunteers, the 300? Which 300 is this? Was that a total of the volunteers, or it's a different section, or it's a countrywide statistic? They update us, but that's the situation. They've demanded to be addressed by President Hakainde Hichilema. Probably because they're not seeing any results come from their engagements with either the Ministry of Health or the previous minister, or the current minister. So they think the only person that can address their needs is the person that had offered them the jobs in the first place, because this was President Hakainde Hichilema who said all the volunteers doing this are going to be employed. So, I mean, he's the best person to address them. So they are working towards that. What is IMF response? There is too much politics in Zambia's economic debate. So it's expected. This is in the news, diggers. You can't expect such things to go without political debate. It's standard operation, even in the US or anywhere else. So I do not know what they mean by that. But anyway, that's the headline there. What else is in the news? This is in the mass newspaper. We will not accept abuse of Lungu. We demand UPND takes immediate action to stop this mistreatment, says Kapianga. It's there. So that's probably the PF responding to the UPND there. This was in the mass newspaper. And then this is the Daily Nation. 120 health centers coming. That's in the Daily Mail. What is the former First Lady, Maureen Mwanawasa? So this is in Kalemba. Maureen to be buried on the late husband's Memorial Day. Government declares national mourning. So as a tribute to a woman who stood beside one of Zambia's most respected leader, former First Lady Maureen Mwanawasa has been accorded a national day of mourning and will be laid to rest on Monday, 19th August 2024. That's the day that the president Mwanawasa died some time back. The same day that marks the death memorial of her husband, the late President Levi Mwanawasa. Maureen, who passed away on Tuesday, August 13th, leaves behind a legacy of service and compassion that resonates deeply with the Zambian people. So she will be buried on the day that President Mwanawasa died. So those are the details, and the government has decided to mark that as a day of national mourning, and pretty much all funeral, or what you call them, expenses are going to be covered by government. So that's the situation or update on that funeral. If you intend to attend it, I'm sure they're going to give protocol on how it's going to play out and which church is going to host it, if anything of that nature is going to be placed. But as things stand, 19th August is the National Mourning Day to remember former First Lady Maureen Mwanawasa. That's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night or good morning, depending on where you're watching it from.